Good morning to you all. Thank you for coming and listening to this session about EndNote. Let me start by presenting myself. So my name is Peter Mesrat, and I work at Alfasoft, and I have a background in research, and I'm well aware of the research challenges. I started working with EndNote because I realized how big of a waste of intellectual resources it is if researchers handle references manually. For example, deciding if a title should be in bold or not. That's not what I believe a researcher should be doing. And especially after having done half my PhD before someone told me there was a software for references that even existed. I even remember when you ordered journal articles from the library and got them back as paper copies after a day or two, and just added them to the stack of papers at your office. And in that sense, EndNote has taken us a long way. But with that said, let's get started. I'm going to start, since this is the first session, I'm going to start by saying a few words about Alfasoft, really quick. Alfasoft as a company has more than 30 years of experience in scientific and technical software. And for a long time, we have been focused on researchers and their organizations. And this dedication has made Alfasoft the leading distributor in Scandinavia and other countries for our biggest products. So we have a lot of product areas, but EndNote, I'm just going to highlight the three in red here. EndNote is well established on the market and is one of our main products. And we're going to have a look at that today. But we also offer other solutions. And Article Galaxy, for instance, is a complement to EndNote as well. Article Galaxy helps you or organizations to order articles online, or to keep track of if you have already bought or ordered on an article and don't need to buy it again and pay extra. And Vivo, on the other hand, is an analytical tool for qualitative data like text, audio, video, and pictures. And why I mention it here is not only because it's a very popular software, it's because it also allows you to import your EndNote library and analyze your references and full texts using that tool. I also want to highlight for you that Alfasoft offers support for all our products that you buy via Alfasoft. And as you can see, we offer technical support and cover most languages in our territory. And just for your knowledge, let's see if I can get that up here. If you go to our homepage, at the very top here, we have support, a link to our dedicated support site where we have a dedicated, if I click on that, we have a dedicated section only for EndNote. So that's very useful. Have a look there, see what you can find. We have both solutions to problems you can come across and also how-to articles. And we also have training session where we offer our trainings that we have. We offer courses during the year, and we're going to fill that with some new December courses. So have a look there and see what's coming up, because today we just going to scratch the surface of EndNote. So it's a little bit like you read your first semester on the university, and then you believe you know everything in that subject. And then you start reading more and more, and after reading the same subject for a couple of years, you do realize that you almost know nothing about this subject. So that's where we're going to start here. After this, I hope that you're going to feel that you do know everything about EndNote, but believe me, there are much more under the surface. So let's have a look at EndNote, because it could be a good idea just to give a thought about what EndNote really is. So EndNote is an online search tool. It allows you to search online bibliographic resources and retrieve references directly into your EndNote library. So the EndNote library is the EndNote reference database. So when I say library from now on, it will be the EndNote reference database that I'm referring to. EndNote is also a reference and full text organizer with a collaborative online solution. So it will keep all your material organized and easily accessible, and will also make it possible for you to share your information or your references with colleagues. It's a bibliography maker. The cite-while-you-write technology allows you to insert reference information in documents and format them in Word, and now also in Google Documents. So if you're using Google Documents, you can now also use EndNote. And as a head up, this is some inside information for all of you. We are in the near future expecting also EndNote to be available for Word Online. So if you're using Word Online, you will shortly be able to use EndNote in that as well, and hopefully switch between your Word document online and your Word document locally on your computer. EndNote is also your help to publish. There is something called Manuscript Matcher, built-in technology using the EndNote Online solution. And it's a tool to automate some tasks like full text, finding full text and importing PDFs. We'll have a look at that later on. But it's important to remember what EndNote really is, and there are some things here that can help you. So bottom line, EndNote is a database, and on top of that database is placed an interface specialized for reference handling. So it's not like a Word, like an Excel document where you add information into a cell in your Excel, and Excel doesn't really care what information it is. If you tell EndNote that it's okay, format this as a date, fine, I'll try and do that. Format it as a currency, sure, I'll try and do that. But it doesn't really care what information it is. The difference with the database is that not only can you enter information, but you also have to tell the software what is this information, because I will handle this information differently depending on what it is and what it is in relation to other things. So remember that it's a database, and as you can see, we have customers using it for a variety of things apart from just handling references. And something that people tend to forget is that if you buy EndNote, an EndNote license for us, for instance, then EndNote Web, it says here EndNote Web or online is included. So you get the best of two worlds. You can work locally on your computer, but you can also sync and work online just in a web browser, or sync down to another computer and have the same information available to you there. EndNote Web is a new release that's brand new for EndNote 21, and EndNote Online was the solution that you could use before. You can use both if you have an older, you can use both if you have EndNote 21. If you have an older version, you cannot use the new EndNote Web. The new EndNote Web requires EndNote 21. And the new EndNote Web is what's being developed as we go along. So today we're going to look at how to create a library. I will give you some take-home messages from that. We're going to look at how to import and add references and PDFs. I hope to give you some tips for those of you who already use EndNote 21. We're going to look at cite-while-you-write, and then I'm going to sprinkle you with some of the news in EndNote 21, and especially some of the news in the latest patch of EndNote 21. But with that said, before time runs too fast for us, let's jump into EndNote and the EndNote and how EndNote looks like. So let's see if we can get that running. So I'm gonna start EndNote here. Give me 1 second. There we go. So when you start EndNote, you get this window showing you either to open an existing library or create a new library. I just want to mention that if you're running Mac, you don't get this. You only get the toolbar at the top, which is a small gray toolbar. And you won't imagine how many people contact us and say, well, it's not working, it's not running on Mac. It is running, but it's just this little thin toolbar at the very top menu. So what you have to do is you have to open or create the library, and then you will see it. So let's start by creating a library. And here comes the first take-home message. Please save it locally. Let's see if I already have one here. Save it locally on your computer. As you can see here, I'm saving it as under C. Do not save it in any of these. Let me show you any of these sync locations, or a network drive, or iCloud. And the reason is because it's a database, and databases do not agree with any kind of syncing features. It only agrees with its own syncing features. And we have a long article in our support page explaining why this is. So if your IT department gives you a hassle about this, have a look in our support section, and there is an article that you can send to your IT department and explain why it is like this. And if they read that, they will realize they should realize what it's all about. So you can call it anything. So I'm going to just call it today's library, and I urge you to call it something that's informative for yourself. So I'm just going to create this, and we're going to have a quick look at it. Opens up on my different screen. Here we go. A quick look at how this goes, and I'm going to do this pretty fast because we have a limited time. So just to give you an idea, and then you can look at the recording, and if you want to, I recommend that you also take a course in EndNote, because if you start using it, it will be a major tool for you to work with. So we have a group panel to the left. We have a main section in the middle where you will see all the references in rows, and you have a preview window to the right. Right now there's no information here, so I'm just going to start by creating manually because I want to highlight some things. So I'm going to click on this, add a new reference to the selected group. Let's do that. And it opens up on my other screen again. So let's bring that over if it wants to move. There we go. So first of all, again, I want to highlight it's a database. You have to tell EndNote what this is all about. What information is this? So you have to tell EndNote what reference type is this. There are a number of reference types available to you, and there's also a possibility to create your own. I do recommend using the standard because otherwise you will have to keep track of the ones that you create, and it can be a little bit tricky. I'm just going to create a journal article. I'm going to put myself as an author here, and I'm going to do that in different ways. One author per row. Right now, EndNote guesses that the first word is my given name, and the second word is my family name. If I want to make sure, I write it the other way around. I write my family name, comma, and my given name. Now EndNote knows that which is which. I've defined it this way. If it's an organization, I'm in Sweden, so I'm going to take Volvo, and I'm going to say Volvo AB. Basically Volvo Limited. So just to make sure, because right now EndNote thinks this is a person called Volvo with the family name of AB. But if I end with a comma, then EndNote knows that this is an organization name and will treat it that way. Year, nothing strange. I have no fantasy today, so I'm gonna just write Alfasoft title as the title. Journal will be the Alfasoft journal. And then I just fill out whatever I can here. I want to mention the DOI. If you have the DOI, it's very, very useful. Digital Object Identifier. It's a unique ID number for published documents. I'm going to keep on going down here. There's a lot of information you can fill out, but I want to mention the research notes field. So this is where you place information, your own comments, if you want to add comments to this reference. And you can add, I think right now there's it's about 16 A4 pages of text that you can add to each of these fields. So you can add a lot of information here. Once I'm done, I can either click save to save it, or I can just close the window. So as you can see right now, I have one reference here. And to the left, you can see a summary. To the right, I mean, you can see a summary of this reference. And if I click edit, I can edit directly here the information fields, and the PDF will show me any attached files, but I don't have any right now, so we'll have a look at that. And at the bottom here, you can collapse that with this arrow. You will see a preview of how this reference looks like in a document if you use the output style Harvard. And there are a number of output styles here. So if I click on this, I will see my favorites. But if I click on select another style, it will take a while because I installed all of the available styles, which is more than 7,000 available styles. And EndNote now has to load all of them for me. So it takes a little while to do that. Normally, only the 500 most common styles are installed. And then you can choose what styles, extra styles you want to install. So here we have 7,200, more than 7,200 styles. And I can find whatever I want to find here if I afterwards. And you can add these styles afterwards, after the installation of EndNote if you want to. So that's that. What if I want to add more then? This is the manual way, but I can also go to PubMed, for instance. Let's use that as an example because it's much safer. So let's go to PubMed quickly, and I'm just going to use sushi and search for sushi in PubMed. I mean, PubMed is one of the biggest free available reference databases online. So I'm just going to use this, and sushi gives you more limited results. It's about 4,100. If I take something more common like cancer, it's a little bit more daunting. So then I have 200,000 results. That's breast cancer. I'm just going to take cancer just to show you why I do that. So that's 1.7 million results. And that's a little bit daunting to me. So I'm just going to use sushi because it's very limited. There is something I can do. I'm just going to show you the quickest way here, and that is to send it directly. I click on send to, and I send it to my citation manager. It will ask me what information. Well, give me all the results on this page. It's not all 411, but on this page, and create a file, which means that it will create a file. EndNote will recognize this file and import those references immediately. It's very, very convenient, very, very fast. And you can have a look at them afterwards if you want to. And now you can see that in the summary here, you see also the abstract. So it's quite fast to just go through your references and make sure, do I want to read this or do I not want to read this? I can also just to give you a heads up here, you can see now to the left that we have this temporary group called imported references. I'm actually going to give you a tip here for those of you who used EndNote, or anyway, anyone. I'm just going to go to, let's see if I find it here, on library, and I'm going to go to change, move, and copy fields. And I want to insert in the field of label, in the label field. Often it's not used very often, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to use and add the word PubMed. So that means I'm tagging these references that I just downloaded. I'm just going to click OK here, and you will see something. So it tells me, okay, I will do that for all of the visible references. So that's 10 references. This cannot be undone. Fine, I'm going to do that. So it's done, and I'll show you why. So now I just did this on all of these references. It's very fast. You can do it on thousands at the same time, so be careful. If I scroll down here, I added the word PubMed as a label. So this means I can always, I just mark them, so I know they're originating from PubMed. So if that's important to you, that's very easy, very easy to do. So let's try and connect EndNote instead directly to the online database. So I have the online search here, which gives me access to a number of databases. Same here, if I can't find it in the list, these are the ones listed here are the ones that I've used before. I just click on the plus sign, and it will open up all the available for me. So that's more than 6,000 online databases. Some are free, some are not free. But they are available, the connection files are available. But I'm just going to click on PubMed, and now I don't see my references anymore, but it says PubMed everywhere. So I'm connected to PubMed right now. So let's take that. Let's take and just search in the title field and just search for sushi again and see what we find. And I'm going to click search, and see what it finds. A little bit more limited because I'm only searching in the title, and I found 200 references instead of the more than 400 I did before. So I'm just gonna highlight some here that I think is really, and you can see that I can preview them as well to read if I'm interested. But I'm just gonna highlight the top ones here because they are also the latest. So let's go for that. I'm gonna click on the plus sign, and they will be added right now. To the left, you can see I have 11 references, but I'm going to click on the plus sign, and these references, now I have 17, are now added to my library. So let's have a look at those, and I now have a number of references. So what can I do more just to save you time and show you what you can do? Well, first of all, I want to see if I have any duplicates here, since I worked from PubMed with all of these at the same time. So I'm just going to go to library and see if I can find any duplicates. And it didn't find any duplicates. Fair enough. Do that now and then. Library, find duplicates, and you will see all the duplicates. It's not difficult now, but when you have a lot of references, it will be hard to handle all the possible duplicates. But right now, I'm just going to take some of these. I'm actually going to go by year. So I'm sorting by year by just clicking on year. And I'm going to take these ones that I have here. I'm going to highlight them, and I'm going to ask EndNote to go out on internet and try and see if it can find any full text PDFs for this. So let's do that. Let's click on that, and you can see to the left here, you will see that it's now searching for PDFs, and whenever it finds any, it will add them as a paperclip here, so I know which one have a added PDF file. Right now, I'm only searching in free available sources. If you're sitting in an organization or a university on their network, you will have access to all of their subscriptions that they pay a lot of money for, and you will have a much higher hit ratio. So I did find a few here. If I click on the first one, you will see I have a paperclip, and now I can see there is a PDF attached to this, and I can preview that by clicking on the PDF tab, and I can look at the PDF right here. I'm just gonna do something. I'm just gonna click on this markup and annotations. So I can now make annotations or markups. I'm gonna add here to this. I'm just gonna click here and click on this add a sticky note, which means I'm adding a comment. So I'm going to add a comment here. I'm going to add my own name just to make sure it's a comment to myself. And there we go. So look carefully at the method. So I want to highlight the method in this article. So I added this here, and just to make sure, I'm going to see if I can make this also highlighted so I can quickly look at that. So if I go to another reference, it asks me, do you want to save the comment? Yes, I want. So I can look at this, and if I go back, this information is saved on the PDF, which is quite handy. Now we had one here where it didn't find anything. So I can click on this temporary group here, not found of my PDFs. So this one, it didn't find anything. Let's have a look and see how that looks like. Well, we have everything. It just didn't find the PDF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this, and you can do this not only for this reference, but I'm going to right click because there is something called find reference updates. So if I click on this, it will go online and look, are there any updates available for this? It opens up on my other screen all the time. So yes, it did find some updates. So it shows me available updates here, and it shows me my reference to the right. If I scroll the windows, they are synchronized in scrolling, and any fields, you can see that it's gray marked here. Any fields that are different, they will be highlighted. So I can scroll down this and quite easily find fields that differs. And then I have some different choices here. I'm just going to say, okay, update all fields. There we go. It's updated. And what did we find? Well, it added a URL to me. It added a link instead of the PDF. So now I have a possibility. I can just click on this. It will open up on my web browser and take me to the place of this article, and I can probably get the PDF either for free, or I can buy it, or I can immediately use what I mentioned before, Article Galaxy, and order the reference from there. So you can update your references, and that's a good things to do as well to keep your track. Yes. So let's have a look at all the PDFs that you have located on your computer already. What to do with all of those? And well, you can handle those. I have a lot of I have some PDFs available to me right here, lying around. If I want to add a PDF to a reference, I can take the PDF like this, and I can just drag and drop it to a reference. I'm going to drag it to this one, and I don't know if you see that, but there's a small plus sign on my cursor, and if I drop it there, I immediately get this paperclip, and the PDF is attached to my reference. So you can manually attach PDFs as well, but I don't want to do that. I want to let's see if I find it here. I want to import some PDFs there, and I can import multiple PDFs. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Import, and I don't want to import a single PDF. You can do that, but I won't. I will not do that. Instead, I will import a folder. So I'm going to find my folder with all my PDFs. Here we go. And I have a PDF here, and I'm going to import this one. I have a folder with some subfolders. So I'm going to take that, import with PDFs in it. I wanted to include all the subfolders. I wanted to create a group set for this, so I can create my own groups here. And I wanted to create that just to show you what it looks like. I need, again, this is a database. I need to tell EndNote, what is it that you're importing? Well, it's a PDF. It's PDFs that you're importing, because otherwise EndNote doesn't understand what to do with the information. And I click on import. So EndNote will scan all the PDF. It will go online, and you can see here to the left that it's creating a group folder for me with all my PDFs. So these are the ones that were imported. It scanned the PDFs, it went online, it searched for the reference information, created the reference, and attached the PDF for me. So it can do this for hundreds of PDFs at the same time, and you can set it up to do it automatically. Define a certain folder, and whatever you put in that folder, if it's PDF, will be imported and created a reference of. So that's a neat way that's a neat way to add references as well, and it's very fast. Yes. So let's have a quick look. I see that time is running, so let's have a quick look and swap over to cite-while-you-write, working in EndNote in Word with your references. So I have a small document here that that we will use. So I'm going to just quickly show you this. I'm going to add a citation here in my text. So I put my cursor where I want to add it. I go to my EndNote toolbar, and I click on the magnifying glass here, and I will get the search window, which means that I can search for whatever I want to, wherever I want to. The search facilities in EndNote is very powerful. it can search anywhere lightning fast, or you can define where to search, in what exact information, only the title, only the PDF content. Yes, you heard me. If you add the PDFs, the content of the PDF will be indexed and made searchable for you. And you can see, I just want to mention this, if you have older references or paper scanned references, well, that's not a text document. There's no text in there for EndNote to index, so the content will not be made searchable. But we have a tool that we offer. We have an article about this. It's called Abby Fine Reader PDF. It's the best OCR, optical character recognition. So basically, you put your PDF into that tool, and it will recognize the text, even if it's an image. It will interpret the text and make it into a PDF with the accessible text information. And that information EndNote can index and make searchable for you in your own library. So that's very, very handy. I'm just going to take the first one here, Chend. I'm going to click on Insert, and that will insert my reference in my document. You can see it here, and it also creates a reference list at the end. I can do it differently. I can add my cursor where I want my references. I go back to EndNote instead, and I highlight my number of references in EndNote, and I click on this insert the citations. I click on this, and it will insert those 3 references at that location of my document. This saves a lot of time, obviously, but once you send this somewhere, of course, you have to change the output style occasionally. So I'm going to send it to science, for instance. Then I just click science. As I said before, you have more than 7,000 styles available, but I'll use science, and it will reformat my whole document into science. I'm going to take away this. There's let's see if I can do that. There we go. There's a proofreading system working. So I can reformat this, and it works. You can see here, in this case, it numbers and renumbers my document as I add or take away more references. And I can then, of course, change it. Let's say Harvard, which is a more generic or commonly used output style. If I click on that, it's immediately reformatted into that output style for me. Very, very time saving, and I would say it's personally, I would not be able to write text without using EndNote as a reference tool. To do this manually it's just too much. It's too daunting to use all the to do this manually. It's too much time that I'm wasting. If you want to save this, there are a lot of things you can do here. If you want to send this to someone, I just want to show that is then you convert it. You click on this convert citations bibliography and convert it to plain text. Then you will take away any connection to EndNote. It says here that save a copy of your document without formatted cite-while-you-write field codes. So it will leave your original document alone, but it will create a copy without any connection to EndNote. And this you can save. And why would you like to do that? Well, it's because if you send the document as is to someone and they have EndNote or they have another tool that they're using of any kind, or they don't know what they're doing, they can mess up your references. And they can make it, they can make all different kinds of strange things. So in order to avoid that, you create it as convert to plain text. I will click on that, and it will create an exactly identical document. But if I click on anything here, nothing is gray marked because there are no field codes. This is just normal text, everything. And I can do whatever I want to with this. And whoever you send it to cannot destroy it. Let's take that away.
Peter,
Yes.
Peter, just a warning to all. If you have saved your Word document in OneDrive, I don't know if you can mention that, because I experienced this last time I demonstrated EndNote.
Yes. If I recall it correctly, when you say that, then EndNote does not create a copy. It converts the original document into plain text. Is that correct, Torgrim?
Yes, that's correct. So please, if you have saved your Word document in a OneDrive folder, make a copy of it first, so you don't destroy the original document with your live citations. You might need them later on to update your document.
Yep. So that's a really fast. This was a really fast run through of EndNote and what EndNote can do. This is of course only the tip of the iceberg, as you say. Have a look at our courses and to see what you can do more, and look at our support page as well. But with that said, I'm going to try to also please everyone who's using the latest version of EndNote or an older version, and show you a little bit what's new in EndNote 21 that we're using right now. So first of all, I'm going to close this. I'm going to open, or actually, I'm going to open a brand new. Let's see if I find it here, a brand new library again. I'm just going to put that on my desktop here, and I'm going to call it synced, because I have already synced a library to my EndNote Online account. And you might ask me, why don't I show you how to sync the first time? Well, there are a number of reasons. First of all, it's a sync, it's not a copy. If you use the EndNote Online account, that means that you can if you already have reference information in your online account and you sync your local library, then any information you have locally will be synced to your, copied up into the cloud, and everything in the cloud will be copied down to your local library. So what you're doing is that you're creating a sync. You should have the same information in your online account and the same information in your local library. That also means that the information is merged. So if you have already synced the library and you sync a new library with other information, then those two libraries will be merged because it's a sync. In my case, or if you have a new computer and you already have synced your library, just create an empty library. You go to, and here you can see that if you go to the column here, there's a cogwheel. If I click on that, I come directly into the preferences. I'm going to go to sync here, and I already added my information here. But if you don't, you click on enable sync and sign up. So if you don't have an account, go the same way: preferences, sync, enable sync, and sign up. Whatever you see in this is also very common. This is just an internal information in EndNote. You cannot change this. This is the latest synced library. So this, just ignore this. But I'm fine. I'm going to go to library and I'm going to click on sync. It will warn me that it will merge any information, but I will just do this to show you what happens. So I have an empty library. Nothing can be copied up into the cloud because it's empty, and everything will be copied down into my library. It will be merging my empty library with the online library. So right now it's downloading information. You can see that I had downloaded a lot of groups here. I haven't shown you the groups today, but you can read about those or do one of our train courses, and you will learn everything there is about them. And I just downloaded my whole library here. So it will right now 94 references here. So news tags are new. So you can use this apart from the groups, which you can create different types of groups. I want to mention the tags. So the tags are new. It's color-coded tags attached to your references. You can create new ones by clicking on this plus sign and decide what they're going to look like. And you can just add tags by either right-clicking on a reference or clicking on a reference and clicking on, let's see if I can find it here, manage tags in the preview window, or you can just drag and drop them into a group. And you can see that if I'm looking on all my references, you will see that I can see the tags and get a quick overview. So I have this article here, for instance, has a red and a yellow tag, and I can look at them here, and it's so the red says that there is a DOI missing for this, and the yellow one says that this is not a journal article, and I can see on the reference types here that this is a blog, in fact. So these colored tags follow you everywhere and gives you an additional level of organization in your library. You can now also view you can view the references in its own window. They took away this possibility, so you can open up a separate window looking at your reference. But most of all, what I really like is that they reintroduced the fact that you can see, you can preview the PDF at the same time as you look at the reference information. So if you're missing, the title, for instance, you can just copy the title from the PDF directly into your reference. So that's a new thing in the white. And also they changed this. Some users work for that. Right now, asked for this. Right now, I have the preview window to the right, but I can have it also. I can click on split horizontal, and then I have it below instead. This was something that was requested by users. I'm just going to take it back again. They increased how many you can share your library with. So if I sync my library, which I have right now, I can go to File and I can share my library with other people. If I click on that, it will show me who I've shared this to. I just add email addresses in this field and decide whether they should have read or write access. And then I click invite, and they will get an email with all the information they need to access the library. The same way if someone, and now I can share a library with up to 1,000 persons. That's also new, and that's something that's been requested as well by organizations and companies quite a lot, to be able to share it within the whole company, for instance. And then they increase that number of people to 1,000 colleagues. If I have a reference, let's see if I can do that here, and let's see if I can manage to open this, and I have a reference. So I open this reference in my separate window, and right now, if you make a mistake, if you sync your library, if you make a mistake or do you realize that you did a change somehow that's not correct, I can click on this compare versions, and it will show me, it will save, whenever I've synced my library, it will save that version here. So I can decide, okay, so this version is from 10th of October, but I also have a version from 26th of April, and I can decide which one I want to choose here. If I click on this arrow, right now I only have one, but if you sync the lot many times or changed it many times, because it's only when you change a reference that it will save it, well, you can have a whole list here of dates that you can roll back your reference to. So it's possible to roll back your individual references. EndNote Web, you will have access to EndNote Web. Let me show you how that works, or just show you what we have on our website. So on our website, Alfasoft, if you go to if you just search on this search magnifying glass here, and you search for EndNote Web, you will come to this page because it's different login pages for EndNote Web and EndNote Online Classic. And let me show you how the new EndNote Web looks like. I can quickly log in. Good to know here is that let's do it there. Is that both EndNote Web and EndNote Online, both the old EndNote Online and the new EndNote Web, works on the same background data. So if you synced before to EndNote Online and you purchase EndNote 21, you can access EndNote Web, the new interface, and you will see the same. You will still see your references. So it works on the same data, but you need to have EndNote 21 in order to access EndNote Web, the new interface. And it looks, they change it so it looks much more like the desktop version of EndNote. And this is actually the same 94 references that we looked at before, and I have my same groups here available to me as well that I have on locally on my computer. But this is only available if you have EndNote 21, and then you get also, of course, if you have an EndNote license, you get unlimited storage capacity for your online library, and you also get a 3-year unlimited storage capacity in the new EndNote Web. Yes, let me see what I want to show you more. Yes, I want to show you also the new, we have a few minutes left, the new Google Docs compatibility, or the access to use EndNote in Google Docs. So I'm going to try and see if I can, give me a second here, see if I can get that going. Yes, so let me see if I can get that going. So I started Google Docs right now, and I created the same document here in Google Docs demonstration documents, and this is now in Swedish, unfortunately, because it recognizes where I'm located, so it's in Swedish. You add the EndNote functionality in the add-ons. So right here it says tillägg in Swedish, but it's add-ons in English. If I click on that, I can click on add-ons here, and I can get add-ons. So if I click on get add-ons, I can search for EndNote, and I can tell Google Docs to add this to my Google Docs, basically. Once you've done that, you can see that you have EndNote cite-while-you-write coming up under the add-ins toolbar here. If I click on that and I click open, it will open up a side panel for me, including cite-while-you-write for Google Docs. And it shows me the references that was in my EndNote Web or EndNote Online account. So you need to sync your library first. What I do is I add references and decide which one I should add here. Let's add these two. I have the possibility to search. I click on insert citation, and it will insert my references to this place. And they're inserted as not formatted references. Once I'm done, I click on update citations. So if I click on update citations, then EndNote will format my citations for me. and you will have the same access. You can see now that it formatted my references, and it also created my reference list in Google Documents. If I click on, let me see if I find this here, the three points, do you say, the collapsed menu here. You can see the style that I have here. If I click on that, I will see all my available styles. If you only see a few styles here, then the reason for that is that you in your EndNote Online account or EndNote Web account, you have marked some styles as your favorites, and then only those are shown here. If you don't mark any as favorites, all the styles are shown here. And I can just decide then, of course, I want to format my references in a different style. So it's possible to work in Google Documents with the new EndNote 21 as well, and you can collaborate with documents via Google Documents. Then I can see time is flying, so I think I will stop there. And again, I want to highlight the fact that we are just scraping the surface of EndNote. Here, there are so much more that you can do, but take some time to learn it. I think you will benefit quite a lot from it, and take some time to look at our courses, for instance, and our support page, and you will probably learn a lot.
Thank you, Peter, for the great demonstration. There's one more question I would like you to answer. It's pretty quick to answer. It's from Richard. He's asking if it's possible to monitor a folder on your system and automatically import PDFs. So people and colleagues can add PDFs to that folder, and it's automatically added to your library.
Yes.
Can you just demonstrate that real quick?
I can at least show you how you do that. So basically, what you do is, let's see, I need real quick. That's a lot to ask. So you need to go to your preferences again. So I'm going to open the preferences here. You need to go to the PDF handling here, and there you have PDF auto import folder. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to say that I actually created one, PDF import folder. So right now, EndNote will scan this folder all the time for PDFs. So what happens is that, let's see if we can quickly show you this then. I can just add PDFs to that folder that I decided, and EndNote will scan that regularly and add those PDFs to my, and you can see right now it did. So it just imported this PDF for me, created the reference, and it creates a subfolder with imported. So I know what's been imported or not. So yes, it's possible.
Yeah, great. Thank you again, Peter. I will need to switch to our next webinar. So let's see here. I will take back the screen.